it's Greg Harrelson here with Century 21, and I just wanted to reach out to you and talk to you today about pre-qualifying listing appointments, or even pre-qualifying any appointment. In my book, I think it's just very critical. I've got some really good notes. This video might take an extra minute, so I'm going to be as quickly as I can, so let me go straight into it. Top agents around the country always pre-qualify their appointments before they arrive. So let's just talk about why. Why should we pre-qualify? Number one, I've written down here, is you can often identify who you are competing against before you go on the appointment. I mean, think about that. If you're a sports team and you're playing football and you're in the NFL, isn't it helpful to know who your opponent is going to be? If you know who your opponent is going to be, you can actually do some research to see what differentiates you from your opponent. And then you can share that information to the prospect in hopes that that would influence them to choose you versus not choose you. So, number one is you get an opportunity to actually know whether or not you're competing, and then if so, who you're competing with. That's some valuable information that you can identify inside of the pre-qualification call. The second thing is you can identify their specific objections, or if there's going to be any objections before you go over there. Maybe you're thinking, oh, this is a lay-down listing appointment, but they're thinking, well, I don't know, I've never heard what they do to sell homes, so they're going to want to talk about marketing. Or maybe they don't care about marketing. They're going to want to talk about where your office is, or talk about how many sales you've made, or talk about the price. See, don't just assume when you go in that the only thing that they want to know is about price. They may want to know some more things about you. So that's why it's important to pre-qualify the appointment to see if you can identify what the potential objections will be before you get there. It's going to be very helpful when you do that. The third thing is you're going to increase your confidence. Because when you're pre-qualifying, you're asking questions. And when you're asking questions, you're building stronger rapport, deeper rapport. And the more rapport you have with the person before you go see them face to face, the more confident you're going to be. And the more confident you are going into that home, the more likely you're going to get that appointment. Because if you have confidence in you, then they will have confidence in you, period. That's just one more reason, and that's a big reason to actually pre-qualify before you go on an appointment. Now, here are some questions that you could ask, before you go out on that appointment. So these would be pre-qualification questions. And I will say this, there's a whole script that we use. We use the Mike Ferry script, so you may want to just go to that website and pull the pre-qualification script right off of his website. It's free. But I'm going to just give you a few questions, and some of these are on the script and some of these aren't, that we use in order to help us do better presentations. Number one, do you plan to interview more than one agent for the job of selling your home? See, that's how I identify whether or not I'm competing. The second question is, how much do you want to list your home for when I come out to see you tonight at 6 p.m.? I'd like to get an idea of what they're thinking on price. They may say, well, I don't know, that's why we want you to come over. Or they may say $400,000 when their house is only worth $350,000. Either one of those things, I'm not judging what they say, I'm just observing what they say, because that'll give me a clue as to what I've got to deal with when I go into that house, which means I'm going to be better prepared. Third, have you ever thought about selling the property on your own? I mean, maybe they're just wanting a price from you and then they're going to go put it on Craigslist for sale owner. It's okay if they do that. You still want to go on the appointment, but wouldn't it be good to know if they're thinking about selling it on their own? So then you could bring some statistics about share the differences between selling it on their own and selling with a professional real estate agent like you. I bet you can get them more money than they can get in their pocket on their own. That might be something you need to talk about. And then last here is, what is important to you in the agent you choose? What are you looking for in an agent? Look, again, don't guess. You just need to ask. These clients will tell us, or our prospects will tell us what we want to know if we would just ask the questions. And when you ask and you listen, you're going to be clued in on what type of presentation you need to make to increase your chances to get that listing or write that buyer contract. I hope that information helps. Greg Harrelson here, talking about pre-qualifying appointments. If I can ever help you in the future, just let me know. Have a good day.